Hi guys, so please do excuse the lack of a intro as such and just me talking. I filmed it and I didn't realize it was completely out of focus and I was like, I am not using that. So anyway, I just put together this really simple sultry brown look using a really popular brown lipstick at the moment, and I hope you guys like the look. So if you want to see it, keep watching. Kicking it off, gotta start off with a good primer. I'm using the Smashbox Pore Minimizing Primer. I've just noticed that I've got a few more pores on my cheeks and around my mouth at the moment, so I have to prime. Obviously, you know your girl, she gotta color correct, and I'm using the MAC Select, I think it's Conceal or something, I can't remember completely, and I just put that in the target areas and I'm blending that in with like a little duo fiber brush and just pushing that product really into the skin. For some reason, I felt like concealing over that, so I'm using my new love, which is my Sephora gel. It has the most annoyingest name ever, but I think it's like the gel serum concealer, and I just buffed that over the places that I'd color corrected, because I felt like I just needed a bit more coverage on that day. I don't know what was going on, but I needed it. Straight into foundation, I'm using my tried and trusted Lanome Teint Idole. Oh child, I hope that's right. Yeah, even though I don't have oily skin, I still really love that foundation. I love the finish it gives me. Just buff that in with a flat top brush. Onto contouring, using my black opal stick foundations. I kind of mix two shades sometimes to get the shade that I want, and I really sculpt my cheekbones, and I have quite high cheekbones, so I like to just flick up near the portion by my mouth just to really highlight that, and I contour around my temple and my forehead. I'm using my Anastasia brush from one of my palettes, I believe, just to snatch my nose, and I'm going along the bridges of my nose. I bring it in a little bit but not dramatically, because, you know, I want to look like I still have the same nose, and right into the sockets as well. I go into the dip where my cupid's bow is and under my lip, just to, you know, make that lip look fuller. I'm colour correcting under my eye with MAC's Peach Luster. I'm using my beauty blender just to push that product under my eye. This just helps take away from some of the dark marks I have under my eye because I don't sleep well, unfortunately. And yes, I look like a deer with all my dots all over my face, and I'm using the Sephora concealer again, but I'm using a lighter shade. I think it's like number 13 cream caramel or something, and I first like to go in with my finger just to warm up the product, my ring finger, you know, blah blah blah, let's push up. So as you can see, I highlighted the general highlight areas under my eye, forehead, bridge of my nose, cupid's bow and chin. Some people do that reverse contouring just under, but I have a love-hate relationship with it, so I decided not to this time. And I took my beauty blender and I blended like nobody's business, because I got a little bit happy with my new concealer, as you can see. And I applied a little bit too much, so I really had to blend so that it just wasn't obvious how much product I'd actually used, and just disperse it over my face a bit better. And I like taking the bottom of my beauty blender, which has a little bit of my foundation, and just pounce that around the areas I've highlighted, just to ensure that it's blended in with my concealer. I also went in with my foundation brush just to tone down some of the highlight, as I did apply a little bit too much, and I went in just around the edges pretty much. And now it's time to set. I went in with a brush this time initially, and I just packed on some Sacha buttercup powder in all the areas that I'd highlighted, but I didn't feel like this did the job under my eyes, so I went in again with just a little bit of more of the buttercup powder just to bake those areas. I went in with my face powder, MAC's MSF, just so that it sets my whole face, so that when I contour it doesn't turn out muddy or anything. Going in with Shea Moisture's Illuminating powder in Mandaly Dusk, just to, it's kind of like an illuminating contour almost. It doesn't really have any red undertones or anything, but it contours at the same time as illuminates. It's weird. And I snatched my nose, of course, just snatch it, and set wherever I cream contoured. That's the main thing. Please set wherever you've cream contoured, even if it's with translucent powder. You just gotta. Although I love my Shea Moisture Powder, I always have to go in with my CoverGirl Ebony Bronze because I love the red tone that it gives me, even though I am quite cool toned. I think it just balances out my contour and highlight really well. I went in with Sleek's blush in Sahara, gorgeous muted orange. I included a quick clip of my brows just so that you guys got a general idea of how I do my brows. So I brushed all my hairs up and then I underlined the lower part of my brow, and then I brushed all my hair down and then I lined the upper portion of my brows. So I thought I'd just include this because I got quite a few questions about it, and I'm really hoping to get a brow routine up for you guys soon. But this is the general way I do my brows. And then I just begin to fill in, and I'm using the Anastasia Dipbrow in Chocolate. So I'm just priming my eyes with a MAC paint pot. I can't remember the name, but it will be in the description bar. It's a gorgeous kind of grey brown, but I love when I'm doing more cool toned looks. With such a simple look, you can definitely get away with just using concealer as your base, so no worries. I went in with my face powder that I used earlier just to set the concealer under my brows and a little bit of the paint pot because I don't want no creasing. And then first thing I did was I went in with Makeup Geek's Cocoa Bear, and that is going to be my transition shade. I use it all the time. I love it. It's now available in the UK at beautybay.com, so check it out, guys. I really wanted to intensify that colour because there wasn't really much else going on my lids apart from the two shadows, so I made sure that was quite intense. And then I went in with this shade called Hot Chocolate from the Anastasia Self-Made palette, and that's just going to be my lid colour, like just plain and simple. Like I said, I just wanted it to be a really simple and sultry look because there have been quite a few requests for just simple looks. So just literally whack that shadow on. It doesn't need to be the neatest, it just needs to be on your lid because we're going to blend it out and intensify it a bit more later. Going back in with Cocoa Bear to blend out the edge of the shadow that I just put down. Sorry this is a little bit out of focus. I'm working on manual focus. I'm trying. It's a bit of a struggle, but I'm trying. Just blending out with the brush that I used that had my face powder just to ensure there's no harsh lines. And back in with that lid colour to intensify it and just carve out my lid a little bit more. It's not necessarily a cut crease or anything, but just to make sure that that shadow is really enclosed in the lid and it's not leaching out into my crease too much. Any brown shadow can do. Do not feel that you have to use exactly what I'm using. Please, please don't fall into that trap. It is not true. Going in with a black liner into my waterline. Is it waterline? Tight lining? I don't know. I think it's tight lining. So that my lashes blend better. Quick coat of mascara because, you know, I got itsy bitsy lashes and they ain't really doing much. But it helps blend with my lashes a bit, my falsies a bit better. So let's just all take a moment. Look at these lashes. Lovable Lashes Dainty Daisy are bay at the moment. I applied these off camera and then I went on with a black eyeshadow just over the lash band so it's not so stark and noticeable. I wiped away any excess powder that was under my eyes or on my face because I don't want to look like a cakey face. So I got to apologize about the angle of this. It's not the best. But first I just went in with Cocoa Bear under my eye, and then closer to my lash line I went in with Hot Chocolate just to give a little smoky smoke. Hit the lower lashes with a little bit of mascara. Any mascara will do. Just hit them with some mascara. Look at this, look at the concentration to spray that. Oosh! Had to spray my brush with some Fix Plus to get that highlight to pop. I'm using MAC's Oh Darling, which is limited edition. I do apologize because that's probably very annoying, but I'll list some alternatives down below. And I snatched my cheekbones, I snatched my nose, did you see that? Whoosh! My cupid's bow, and a little bit on my chin. And then I put the same highlighter in my tear duct and under my brow bone because that's just where the light kind of naturally hits on your face, and I love the glow that that gives. So right about here I realized I had like 5 minutes to get out and go, so I apologize again. This is not in focus that well, but I'm practicing with that manual focus. You know, I'm a really practiced, trust me. But I'm going in with Colourpop's Pitch liner, and I just lined and filled in all my lips with it, and it's a really nice matte shade on its own actually. Any kind of brown chocolate shades will do, Max Chestnut, or even a brown eyeliner, it doesn't really matter that much. And the star of the show is Jeffree Star's Dominatrix. And I love this liquid lipstick because it is deeper than Lime Crime Salem, and with all the stuff kind of going on with Lime Crime, you know, some people want to use it, some people don't. So I think this is an amazing alternative, and I love the shade on deeper skin tones, and you can get it on cocktailcosmetics.co.uk. Shout out if you want it, guys. Had to neaten up those edges, and I just use my face powder to clean up my edges, and that's pretty much the finished look, guys. I really hope that you like this look. I hope that you're able to replicate it, and if you do, tag me on Instagram because I'm about that life. Thank you so much for watching. Follow me on Instagram. Look at my blog, even though I haven't updated it in a while. And Twitter and all that good stuff. And I'll see you in my next video, guys. Thank you so much for watching again. Bye, guys.